All right, so we're recording. All right, so the reason that this particular topic came up, which tonight we're going to talk about expanding your network, is because this month right now with my level ones, we are doing something that's called the Month of Momentum Challenge. Now, I'm not going to lie, you guys, it has been a struggle for me to get consistent with this lately because it's just been really busy, but I'm really excited because I feel like especially my girls who have been doing it with me, I think next month, like this month is kind of our trial month with it. And then next month, hopefully we can get really consistent with it and we can help each other out and we can help our entire team really benefit from this. So what we've been doing with the Month of Momentum is I have these trackers that I've created. And it basically is just a way to track, you know, what you're sharing on your social media, what you're sharing on your stories, and then how or who you're like, how many invites you're sending a day or connects. So part of our trackers is adding to your network every day. And I realized that like a week or two into this month, I was like, oh, we haven't really even gone over a training like that. We haven't even talked about how to add people to your network. So I'm like, that's something we need to address. So this week we're going to talk about adding people to your network because you always need to keep that funnel full. Right? You always need to have new people coming into your funnel, new people getting introduced to you and your business, then become maybe customers, hostesses, and then they end up being reps. So the goal is to always keep that funnel full. And it's hard to keep it full if you're not getting those people in the top. You're not reaching new people every single day. So the goal of expanding your network is that for one, we don't always want to rely on the people that we know, love, and trust, right? We don't always want to rely on our friends and family for our businesses. And we don't always want to cold message people. You know, that's a style that some people really like to do. Some people aren't as into it. So this is a way to really broaden your reach and meet new people on social media without cold messaging them. Okay, so if you're new to marketing, cold messaging is like sending out an invite, sending out a message to someone that you have never even met before. Like, never seen them, don't know who they are, you're sending them a message, inviting them to try out Zaya. That's a cold message. So the goal of expanding your network is to grow the amount of people that you know so that you create more of a warm market, okay? So you're getting more of those people who know, love, and trust you, but they're not the friends and family that you already have, if that makes sense. So in order to help more people, you guys, we have to know more people. In order to help them see Zaya, experience Zaya, join our team, we need to know more people, right? So in order to know them, we need to add them. So think about, I'm gonna try to like break this down into Facebook and Instagram. So let's start with Facebook. For adding people to your network, I want to tell you that I think you should focus on just one for now. Like, don't try to do both. It can get to be a lot. Just focus on whichever social media platform you like best and you're most comfortable with. Just stick with that and then work on these tips that I'm going to give you. So let's start with Facebook. First of all, we want quality over quantity, which I know is hard when you want to grow fast and furious. But at the end of the day, these people that you're going to be adding to your team or are going to be customers of yours, they're people that you want to work with. It's hard to have a team of people who maybe don't get you, who don't think the same way that you do. At the end of the day, we want to be friends with each other, right? Like that's why we all love each other, is because we all get along so well. So when you're out there looking for your tribe, think quality, think people who are like you, instead of just quantity, anybody that you can even get your hands on, anybody you can talk to, okay? Growth isn't gonna happen overnight and you have to do the work. So what is the work? When you're looking for people, you wanna think about looking for people who are like you. Typically, those are the people who are going to think like you, they're gonna have similar lifestyles as you, you're gonna have a lot in common. So think about what makes you you. We did some activities like a month or two ago. We talked about our color wheel. If you weren't there for that, you know, just make a list of like 6 or 7 things that makes up you, you know? Like I'm a mom. I like sports. I love basketball. I'm from Iowa. I'm married to a farmer. I'm a former teacher. Like these are things that kind of make up who I am. I'm running a race right now. I'm training for a 10K. Those are all things that I can reach people on, and I can talk to them about those things because we're going to have those things in common. So if I'm on Facebook and I'm looking for people like me, I'm going to start looking for groups of people that do those things as well. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Facebook has really, with their algorithms changing lately, it's really been community focused. They really want people to be a part of groups and community versus like throwing out a product post on Facebook, if that makes sense. So they are, and with the whole community thing, I mean, you guys know this, if you invite someone to join a group, they have to accept it, right? They're trying to make these communities really the solid foundation of Facebook and bringing people together in that way. Like, even though it's annoying for us sometimes because we're like, just accept the invite to the group. It's really, at the end of the day, it's really good because it's what we preach with Zaya is community. So go into some Facebook groups, look for groups. Maybe I would look for groups that are like Iowa moms or Spanish teachers. Like, I was a part of a Spanish teacher group for a while. I'm in a Northwest Iowa moms group. I know, like, say you have kids who are in sports, maybe it's like a baseball moms group, or maybe it's newlyweds or people who are planning their wedding. That would be a good group to look for. Do you rock climb? You know, what is it that you do that you could go into a Facebook group and you could be a contributing member of that group? Once you get into that group, this is where you're going to really find a lot of people who are like you. So you can go in there, you can comment on posts. People are going to post questions. They're going to ask opinions, contribute to the group. Go in and be a friend and get to know people, and don't be icky about it. You know, you're just going in there to meet people is basically all you're doing, which seems kind of weird, but that's, I mean, really, you're just being a community member on Facebook. So once you go into this group, and let's say I'm in this Northwest Iowa moms group, and someone asks a question about a dentist in the area. I might say, you know, we go to this pediatric dentist. We love her. I highly recommend you go to her. After I would comment, I would probably click on her profile, and I would add her as a friend. Now, that's not weird, you guys, because she saw that I commented on her post. I'm giving her advice. I have her best interest at heart because I am being a friend. I'm not like just wanting to sell her Zaya. I'm just being a friend with her, and I'm going to add her as a friend. So then as soon as she would accept that invite, I would write her name down. I would go through her profile. I would interact on it, like some things, maybe comment on something, but I'm not going to message her yet. I would just write her down, just kind of do some surface stuff, get to know her, get a feel for her. And then in the next day or two, I might shoot her a message again. Say, did you ever find a dentist in the area? Did you, I noticed that you have other kids who are this age. What school do they go to? You know, that's when I can start reaching out and having a conversation with them that's just like being a human. Because I think sometimes we think that reaching out to people or finding new people on social media has to be this Zaya-ria, as people call it, like word vomiting Zaya all over them. And that's not the goal. The goal is to just broaden our reach and to find more friends, essentially. And at first, this process can seem kind of daunting and scary, but it actually ends up being really fun, and it ends up being a way that you really meet a lot of new people who are like you and who end up being really great friends with you. Like, I still have people on Instagram that I've been friends with for like 4 years because we met, like, they've never done business with me, I've never done business with them, but because we met on Instagram or, you know, whatever, we just created that connection, and I've never met them in person, but I feel like they're my friend and I could go to them. So that's the goal of all of this, of expanding your network, is finding those people that you can be friends with. And then when and if the time comes that, you know, Zaya fits into that friendship, then it's going to happen really naturally, and it's not going to feel icky. It's going to feel fun. It's going to be like you're helping them, you know, with their, like, helping them, introducing them to this company that's so incredible and that we love so much. So, Yeah, so basically it doesn't matter if you're the best poster if you're not getting enough eyes on your posts, you guys. So that's what this is all about, is getting to just know more people. Do you have any questions so far? I should pull up the chat. I always talk fast. So if I'm over your head, ask a question. And I have notes here. I made notes today. Okay. So
Rachel, were you primarily talking about Facebook just now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was all Facebook. Instagram is a totally different beast. So yes. And adding, you guys, adding people on Facebook is kind of weird if you don't know them. So that's why I'm like, get to find something that you have in common with them and don't be a creeper, because they're probably not going to accept your friend requests. So get to know them a little bit. Another thing that's cool about Facebook is that you can create interest lists on your Facebook. And I don't know if you've ever done this before. I did it a long time ago with other direct sales stuff, and it's actually really cool. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys and I can show you how to do it. So the reason you would want to use an interest list is, say this person, how do I share my screen again? I'm forgetting. Here it is. Oh, I just stopped my video. That's not right. Hang on. Share. The green button at the bottom, that's big. That's the one I want. Okay, so say I just added Nicole, I just added you as a friend. You were in my mom's group. Now we're friends, and I want to make sure that I am seeing your posts in my newsfeed, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to hit friends lists. So I have all of these lists from a couple years ago, but I'm going to create a list, and I'm going to say Northwest Iowa moms. And I'm going to add Nicole. Nicole, you're from Northwest Iowa, right? Okay. Create. So now what's going to happen is that on this list, anybody who's posting from my Northwest Iowa moms group is going to pop up in my feed. So say, for example, I want to go, let's see. We'll pick up one of my old lists here. So I've added people to my list. I've got them in there, and say I need to interact with some of my free customers or some of my Heartly people. I want to go interact with my Heartly people. So I'm going to click on that. And in this newsfeed is going to show up all of my Heartly listers or whatever, and their posts, their most recent posts, okay? So I know that sometimes the people that we want to see aren't getting into our newsfeed, and this is a way to have them come up and we can interact with them. Apparently, I don't have very many people who like CrossFit. I don't know what these lists were, obviously from Beachbody, but I don't remember started private conversations. Nope. Anyway, you guys get the gist though. It's going to help me organize my friends. And so each day I can be like, okay, well today I need to go talk to my teachers. I'm going to check out their posts. All of their posts are going to pop up here, and then I can interact with them. And as you guys know, Facebook rewards that interaction. So the next time they post, it's going to come up into my regular newsfeed, and I'm not going to have to go find them. So these lists are awesome. Definitely add people to lists when you add them as friends on Facebook, so that you know why you added them in the first place and you know what you have in common with them, and then it's going to help you continue to engage with them. Here we go. Oh, I had some customers. So there they all are. There's my mom. My mom was my customer. So all of these posts are recent. You can see they're within the last 12 hours. And it just helps me that they don't get lost in my feed, and I would interact with them. So any questions on the interests list? I feel like those are huge, and it really helps you to stay organized with your friends. And I need to do it again. Yep, so just make sure you add them to a list right away and write everybody down, because you're gonna forget. If you're talking to a lot of people, you guys, you're gonna forget. It's just how it goes. Nicole loves it, yay! Okay, that makes me happy. All right, let's see here. Okay, we got more Facebook stuff to talk about. So, Facebook. So say you're like, I want to start going through my friends list. I want to figure out who I'm going to talk to or connect with. And I'm going to give you guys this, which is the 100 connections tracker. And this is something that we're going to work through in August. And this is a way that if they add you, you can add them to a friends list if you want. You can write their name down here, and then you can keep track of them. And you can mark an X if you connect with them. If you have a conversation with them, if you're talking about something, you can X that here so that you guys know it doesn't have to be, oh, I talked to her one time, now I'm going to invite her. You know, maybe you would talk to her 5, 6 times, and then you invite her to check out Zaya. You know, it's just a process of getting to know people and kind of practicing that transition conversation from being like, we're friends, to let's talk about Zaya. Okay, drop. Yes, my newsfeed does too. I didn't know it was possible. The thing about, and the thing I like about it is that so much of my stuff in my feed is Zaya stuff, you guys. Like, obviously, like, you just saw the marketing designs group, or anybody who comments in Zaya Gals or Zaya Life. Like, those are the things that are popping into my feed, and those are things that are time sucks. Like, they will draw you in, and it's waste of time because you don't need to be doing that. You know, if you're getting on Facebook and doing things other than connecting with people, then or checking into your VIP group, then you're wasting time, and you don't want to waste time. The goal is to do this most effectively in less time. So definitely do the friends list. And then this is the connections tracker that I'm going to share with you guys, and you can use this, names, check them off. Hopefully it can help with tracking things as well. So say you want to go through, we're going to talk about like inviting next week. But as far as connections go, what I mean by connections is just like saying what I say, you guys, I got from Teamzy. It's super simple, and all I say is, hey, Nicole, just stopping by to say hi. How are you? Hope you have a great day. Like, literally, that's all I say. And if people are going to respond, they respond, and if not, then they don't. Otherwise, you can pull up something on their profile and ask them a question about it. But a connection is just you reaching out, starting a conversation with them is all a connection is. So I keep saying connection. That's what I mean by connection. So say you want to, like, I'm going to sit down and do 10 connects right now. You can go to your Facebook. You can go up here and do the ABC method, it's called. So you can type in AA. Oh, Kelsey comes up. I can click on Kelsey. I can go to Kelsey's profile, messenger, send her a message, whatever. Write her down. Then I'm like, okay, anybody else coming up? This person, Aaliyah Peterson. Guys, I don't even know who this is. Oh, we're not friends. That's why. Okay, so I'm going to go to AB. Abby Long. I'm going to click on Abby. I'm going to send her a message. Boom. That's 2 connects. I'm going to see if I have, maybe I'll just go AC now. AC, Acacia, send her a message. See how fast this can be? AD, send her a message, okay? So you could do 10 connects in like 5 minutes if you wanted to, you guys. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just a matter of starting that conversation with them and getting to know them. And if you send them a message to their inbox, they're going to click on your profile and they're going to go check out your profile, right? So even if they don't respond to you, chances are they're seeing what you're doing and they're going to start watching you. And now that they've opened your message, your stuff is going to start popping up in their feed. So that's the ABC method of following up with people. And then say you get through say today I get through AOM. Okay, I'm gonna write down AM. The last person I followed up with was Amy Douglas. So I know that whoever is after Amy, next time I come back up, I'm gonna click in AM again, or I'm gonna start with AN. Just go to the next letter. And if they respond, write them down. Okay, so that was a lot. Any questions so far? We talked about adding people to our network from groups. We talked about connecting through the ABC method on Facebook, and we talked about creating interest lists on Facebook, which is a lot of information. Let me see here. I'm gonna stop my screen share if I can. Stop share. Okay. So that was a lot. Basically, what I would challenge you to do this week for an action step is to start thinking of things that make you you and get into some groups and kind of start interacting. Try to add maybe one new person a day from a group. You can add someone from like the suggested friends list, you guys, as long as it's someone that you actually kind of know. Like if it's not anybody you know, it's kind of, it gets kind of weird and it throws up red flags to that person. So just practice adding like one person each day to your friends list, okay? Then I wanna invite you to try to connect with like 3 people a day. Okay, just try to connect with 3 new people, send them, hey, how are you messages. Say, oh, I saw that you just got married. Like, congratulations, how was your wedding? You know, if you see a wedding picture on their profile. Just send out some super simple conversation starters with 3 people each day. So add 1 person, conversations with 3 people, connections with 3 people. That's it. Can we handle that this week and see how it goes? Okay. I'll take the blank stares and some writing and things like that as a yes.
I will also say that if you start adding a bunch of people that you don't know, that will flag Facebook and you'll go into jail.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Were you in jail, Brooke?
Well, this probably sounds like really conceited, but after I shot my bear, a lot of people started friend requesting me, and I had like 10 or 12 mutual friends, like other hunters. So I would have been adding them, and I don't think that helped my case very much when I was in jail.
Oh, Facebook. It's like you love to hate it. It just drives me crazy, but at the end of the day, it really helps your business, which is frustrating. Okay, so any questions on Facebook before we move to Instagram? I'm trying to keep it simple, but give you information to kind of reflect on and think about, because these are things that are going to continue to come up. And I know that sometimes we need to hear about it more than one time to really understand it and internalize it. So even if it seems like it's over your head right now, my goal is to at least introduce you to it so that you've heard of it and that you have an idea of like what these connections are and what these invites are. Because as we move into August, these are things that we're going to focus more heavily on. So this is my teacher brain being like, just introduce it and then we'll dive in a little deeper later. Okay? All right, let's talk Instagram, you guys. Instagram is so different from Facebook. Instagram, it is not weird to add people that you don't know. So do it without fear, because it is normal. If you follow someone and you've never met them before, that is normal. Nobody's gonna think anything of it. It's not weird. And I don't know why, but I think that's why I tend to like Facebook or Instagram a little bit more, is because I know no one's judging me, because it's Instagram. That's how it works. So Instagram, you can find people in a few different ways. You can search hashtags. So obviously, again, like we said on Facebook, think of those things that makes you you, and try to think of some more unique hashtags. I know I'm not very good at hashtags, I'll be honest. Finding hashtags that maybe have like 20,000 to 70,000 are usually kind of good hashtags, because you know that they're used a lot, but they're not in that 100,000 to 500,000 to million range. You know, those that just get overwhelming. And I think sometimes those smaller hashtags get a little bit easier to find more focused prospects. So think of things that make you use. So maybe I would say hashtag Northwest Iowa Mom, you know, maybe that's a hashtag I want to start using, or Iowa Moms of Instagram, or I don't know, Iowa State Cyclones fan, like random things that not the whole Instagram world is going to use, but just more focused people who have interests similar to me. You can search hashtags. So start using those hashtags and then also searching those hashtags. That should really help you find people who are a lot like you. And what I typically do is I'll do a little bit of hashtag searching, but I actually really like to go to accounts that are similar to mine or that have a vibe that I really like and that I connect to. So I don't have my phone because my phone is broken, in case you guys missed that. So this is making my Instagram world a little bit more difficult, but let me see if I can pull up quick before I screen share with you guys. I think I can do it on here. Okay, yes, I should be able to do this. Minimize. Let me screen share this with you guys, and maybe this will help. So, Instagram. Okay, so this is my Instagram. Chalene Johnson showing up at the top. Chalene is my homie, and I love her. So I'm probably not going to pick Chalene Johnson just because I feel like she has so many entrepreneurs that follow her that I am not really looking for other entrepreneurs. I'm going to kind of stroll. There's Ashley. Let's see. We'll just use Ashley for the sake of time. This is Ashley Molstead. She's a Beachbody coach. So what I would do is I would pick an account of someone who I love their vibe. I relate to them. I feel like we would be best friends in real life if I knew them. And I would go to their account. Then what I'm going to do is, by the way, I do not do this with Ashley's profile because it would be all Beachbody coaches. But let's say I'm like, oh, this is a cute picture of her and her daughter. So I'm going to go to the picture of someone that I think her picture is cute. And then I'm going to go to, oh, Chrissy liked it too. I'm going to go to the people who liked it. Then if you go look at the people who liked it, then what you're going to do is going to just start, like Taylor is a friend of mine on Instagram. I'm just going to start looking at over on the right-hand side. It shows who I'm following already. Okay. So I'm going to go to Tennille. Okay. She doesn't have, I can't see her pictures. So I might request to follow her because she's got some kids and I have kids too. Right? We got that in common. Okay. She's a donut enthusiast. I love donuts. And just like looking at her profile, I'm like, okay, is this a girl, someone that I would be friends with? You know, you have to kind of consider like, is she like me? Is this something that would we get along? I think that she's adorable, but I think we're in really different phases of life right now. So I think I'm probably not going to pursue her just because I'm looking more for someone that's a little bit more like me and maybe in a similar state of life right now. So, I mean, you got to be open-minded, obviously. You can't just like zero in on only a couple people, but at the same time, you kind of have to be picky. It's just a nice little, you have to find your balance of that. Okay, so she's a photographer. That's cool. Northern Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota. I'm like, I'm going to follow her. Okay, and then let's say I follow her. I think her pictures are really cool. I might like some of them. And there's this method called the 5-3-1 method for Instagram. And this is probably a bad one because she's a photographer. Okay, so let's say I'm going to follow Casey. She's clearly a coach, but that's great. I'm going to show you guys the 5-3-1 method. So I think this is a cool one. I'm going to like this one. I'm going to like 5 photos, you guys. Okay? 5-3-1. You like 5 photos. You comment on 3 of them. And then you follow. The 1 is a follow. And then what you do is that after I would comment on like 3 of these, then I would probably write her down and then I would wait until tomorrow and I would just send her a message and be like, oh, I would maybe just reference one of her pictures. Be like, I love this picture. I can so relate. Like that is, I can't believe she, like, holy crap. She went 8.54 miles. That is so awesome. And I would like write her a message and just say, hey, I just wanted to say great job. That is so cool. I might ask her, I see that you're active. Like, are you training for something? Or, you know, I would just ask her a question. Ask her if maybe she's training for a race or something like that. So I hope that makes sense. 5 likes, 3 comments, and then 1 follow. You're going to follow them. And then the next day I would go in and send them a message, because I think it gets to be a lot if you would message them on the same day as you would be commenting. So that's kind of a rule of thumb with Instagram, is the 5-3-1. Let's see. So let's see here. I mean, basically, you guys, that's kind of the simplicity of Instagram too. Let me stop sharing my screen here. I mean, that just kind of shows you how simple Instagram can be. You know, it doesn't have to, you know, obviously there's people with private accounts and there's people with public accounts. So the public accounts, obviously, you can make that connection really easily by just making comments on their pictures and showing that you are interested in what they're doing. Following someone means friending them. Yes, on Instagram, following means that they're gonna pop up in your feed and that, yeah, you're friending them. And if they follow you back, then you're mutual followers. That helps. But so on Instagram, it's really easy to connect with people that you don't know, because so many people have public accounts like that. And so many people will share their account, and you can really kind of get a window into people's lives through their Instagram, which is why I love how visual it is, and I love seeing what people share there. So on top of finding your tribe there, you know, obviously when you post to Instagram, like I just said, it's really visual. So you want it to be a place where people come and they find value in it. You want to be able to share those things that make you you. Like I said, you know, Northwest Iowa mom, farmer's wife, mom of 3, just whatever it is. You know, those are the things that I share on my Instagram, because those are the people that I'm out there looking for. And if they come to my profile, I want them to see me and not just a bunch of Zaya, if that makes sense. So I know for me, lately, I have been posting like all Zaya, and it's because I'm so Zaya focused right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be posting about other things in my life. I need to post about my kids. I need to post about what we're doing, you know, on a Thursday afternoon. And I need to share those things, because that's what makes you, you, and that's what people are going to connect to. So people are going to connect to you before they connect to Zaya, which is why it's really important to kind of go out there, find the people who are like you on Facebook and on Instagram, and then also put yourself out there so that people can see you. They get a little bit of window into who you are and how they could, you know, being a friend with you, what that would look like for them. Do you just post pictures or do you do stories? I just realized yesterday there's another option besides just adding a photo. Yes, I do both. Instagram stories is where it's at, if you ask me. I think that Instagram stories is, I share my Instagram stories to my Facebook, which has actually been really successful. I just started doing that in the last couple of weeks. And I don't know why I never shared on my Facebook story, but I think it's because of that whole Facebook fear that I have. I just really like Instagram. So definitely stories are awesome. They kind of say like, you know, if you can do like 8 stories a day, which I know sounds like a lot, but think of it, if you just take like an outfit of the day picture, if you do like take a picture of your kids and post it on it, or do a boomerang. I do so many boomerangs now, you guys. So this is all stuff that we're going to talk about in the month of momentum, is like what you can post on your stories. And I have like little checklists as well that you can use to say, okay, today I'm going to follow my checklist. These are the things that I want to post on my story. And then sometimes having that little checklist gives you a guide, but then as you start finding your groove, it's really easy to just post, and it's really natural to add to your stories. And that's really where people get to see you in your life, which is really cool. So yes, I do both pictures and stories, but my phone is broken. So, you know, if you chose Facebook, I already kind of said, okay, these are your action steps. I want you to add someone new each day to your friends list, and I want you to write them down. And I want you to send out 3 connect messages each day. If you know, to new people, maybe it's friends and family that you haven't talked to for a long time, or maybe it's these new people that you're adding from your groups. When it comes to Instagram, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to find, you know, one person that follow that follows you back. So sometimes that means you might have to follow like 10 people, you guys, that you don't know to get that one follower back. And that's okay. So find some people to follow and try to get at least one of those mutual followers back. When they follow you back, write them down. And then you're going to do the 5-3-1 to their profile. You're going to comment on, or you're going to like 5 pictures. You're going to comment on 3 of them, and you've already followed them. And then the next day, shoot them a message and just say, hey, I love your account. I saw that you have 3 kids. How old are they? Or whatever it is. You know, just be a friend. You're not out there to sell Zaya. You're out there to be a friend. Because as you guys know, to reach more people, we have to know more people. So what we're doing by expanding our market is just expanding our network. It's just knowing more people. Okay? That was a lot. And I know, like I said, I'm just trying to kind of brush the surface on a lot of this so that as we continue to focus more on it, that it kind of will start to sink in. But don't be overwhelmed. It's going to be okay. What questions can I answer for you? It can be Instagram. It can be Facebook. It can be unrelated. It can be any of it.
Rachel, when you're following all those people, how do you keep track of and get rid of people who aren't following you back? So you don't just end up with all these things, because it's really hard to keep track.
Yeah, no, I only write down the people who I'm having conversations with. And then when it comes to getting rid of people who don't follow you, I have the Cleaner app, it's called, and I'll put it in the chat. It's just called Cleaner. I think it's like Cleaner for Instagram or something like that. And you can download it in the App Store, and it syncs to your Instagram, and then it'll show you who's not following you back. And so you can do like 50 in an hour, I think, or something, 50 unfollows. So then you'll just go through and you'll click people who aren't following you, and they'll unfollow them for you, which is nice.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. Stim was doing awesome until it locked me out of Instagram, and then I was like, yeah, okay, we're not going to do Stim anymore. So what else do you guys have?
How many are you adding a day? I know you have big goals, but
I for sure add 3 a day.
gotcha.
Yep. Obviously I try to add more. Some days it's more like 10, but for sure 3. And you guys, I know that I have talked about like writing people down, write them down. My team knows this. I use TeamZ. I track everything in TeamZ. As soon as somebody adds me back or requests to follow me and then I follow them back, I write them in my TeamZ. It's just a way that I organize it. And what TeamZ is it's a CRM, it's an online program. You do have to pay for it, but there's a 30-day free trial. So if you ever want to try that, just let me know and I can get more information on it, or just I'll put this, there's the site teamz.com. It just helps me stay organized, because my brain, you guys, if you saw the inside of my brain, I swear, it's like a spider web in there, like just all the things. And I need something to sit down and focus and be like, okay, this is how many people I've added today. This is how many people I've talked to today. Whatever. It just helps me to organize things. But you can easily do it without, TeamZ or anything like that. You just have to kind of find your own method.
For TeamZ, you're just manually entering your Instagram people?
Yeah, because you can't mass upload them. Stinks.
Gotcha. Yeah. Soon, hopefully.
I know. He's like, I think the guy that runs TeamZ was like, find a bored teenager to just put it in for you. Like, I need to have teenage children to do this for me. But yeah. Are you guys overwhelmed? Should I show you the trackers quick? I don't remember if I showed them to you yet. I'm gonna find them here. I think I might tweak one of them. And I will share these with you guys probably next week before our call. But I'm trying to not overload your brains, because we don't need that. Let's see here. Pictures. Okay. How do I zoom out? Okay, I'll share this with you guys so you guys can see what's coming in August. And I know it really helps me to stay focused when I really do follow this. So, okay, there we go. So this is the level 1 tracker. I have created 3 of them. So there's a level 1, and it just kind of depends on where you're at with your business and what your goals are. This is obviously the minimum, the smallest number of tasks to do. This is a level 2, which shows obviously a little bit more. This is what I was talking about with having a stories checklist. I think this helps me so much when I look at this. I'm like, okay, well, I haven't talked about my VIP group at all today, or maybe I missed it 3 days in a row. I'm like, I'm going to talk about my VIP group today. So it just gives you a guide to what to share in your stories and how to make it a little bit more well-rounded. And then we'll talk about these invites and stuff here next week. And then here's the level 3. Similar bottom, but just a different format with the invites and not quite as specific. So, but we will go over all of those things, invites and all that next week. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for August, you guys. I feel like I was telling Nicole, I'm like, I feel like I overbooked myself this month with doing my fitness group. And then I have a big party this week and doing this month of momentum with my team. And I just feel like I'm not giving my business and the income producing activities the attention that they need by doing this. So I'm excited for August, for all of us to just kind of focus on the important stuff and do the things that we need to do each day to build our business, but then to get out, because I think that it's easy to scroll and it's easy to feel like you've been working all day, but you really haven't done anything. Because I know I have days like that where I'm like, oh my gosh, I was on the computer like forever and I got nothing done, And so the goal of this was to just give everybody a chance to focus on income producing activities and get off their phones and go be with the 3D people, stuff like that. So, but any last questions, you guys? Otherwise, I can let you go. Thanks for hopping on. You have a good crew. Nice to have you guys here. So, you're welcome. Yay, I'm glad it's helpful, Kimberly. Good. Yeah, it follows 4,000 people on mine, and I am in a hole. Wait, Leanne. What? It follows? Are you talking about the Cleaner app for Instagram? It follows 4,000 people on mine, and I am in a hole.
I think that was when we were talking about STEM, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
It ended up following so many people, and it just takes so much time to go through and figure out who to unfollow. So I probably need to use that Cleaner app, but it ended up following probably over 4,000 people, and I didn't really get many follow backs. So I'm like, now I just look like I just followed 4,000 people. So that's cool. Yeah, I thought it was really good at first, but then I realized the same stuff as you.
Yeah, kind of a bummer. Because at first I was like, yeah, this is great. But
I know. I thought the same.
That's okay. Now I'll just add that to my list of things to do is find more people like me.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. Well, I can let you guys go. I will stop the recording and